Warriors. Welcome to week 1 of our special July series focused on securing your independence, which is preparing for your Independence Day. I'm Tiffany Lesnik, Christian domestic violence attorney and founder of Live Free Legal, and also a survivor of domestic abuse. This month, we're aligning our mission with the spirit of the 4th of July, a time that celebrates the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That historic document didn't start a movement, it simply formalized it. The truth is, battles were already being fought long before the ink dried on July 4th, 1776. And that's often how it looks for women in abusive relationships. Your Independence Day doesn't begin when the court signs the paperwork. It starts when you begin reclaiming your voice, your safety, and your future. So whether your day of freedom is coming soon or still feels like a distant dream, I want to show you the first step in preparing for your liberation, creating a safety plan. If you're in a relationship with a controlling or violent partner, you already know that separation is one of the most dangerous times for you. The risk of violence and even lethality increases the moment the abuser senses you are reclaiming your power. That's why your safety plan isn't optional, it's essential. It's not about being paranoid, it's about being prepared. If you are in immediate danger, don't wait. Leave at the first safe opportunity or call 911. You can always file for a protective order, ask for exclusive use of the home or car, or get no contact provisions later. Your life matters more than your lease or your belongings. So what is a safety plan? A safety plan is a personalized strategic plan that outlines how you will leave your abuser safely, where you'll go, and what you'll take. Whether you're leaving tomorrow or preparing for months from now, here's what that looks like. 1. Identify a safe house. This is a temporary, secure place to go. It could be a family member, a trusted friend, or someone you could show up at their doorstep at 3 a.m. with no questions asked. Ideally, you would choose someone your abuser wouldn't suspect, and this person would not align themselves with the abuser. Tell them the truth only if it's safe to do, otherwise keep your exit plan confidential. 2. Prepare a transitional bag. This is a bag you keep at your safe house, packed and ready. What you need to include in that transitional bag: 2 weeks of clothing, toiletries, and medication, not only for yourself, but also for your children. You also want to have important documents like birth certificates, your driver's license, ID, social security cards, a burner phone that's not tied to your cloud, a contact list written down, like in case you can't use your cell phone or he takes your cell phone. Nowadays, we store all of our contacts in our phone, and many times we don't memorize phone numbers, even for very close family members like our mother or father. So make sure that you have those phone numbers and your contacts all written down somewhere safe. Some cash. Your abuser may freeze the bank accounts or credit cards, and you may not have access to cash, so make sure you have some of that in your bag. Sentimental items if you have space, photos, videos, things that the children have made for you, mementos that they've created in preschool, or they made for you for Mother's Day or other holidays that you're not sure you'll ever get back. Maybe even baby items of theirs, a lock of hair that was first cut, or their first baby blanket, or their baby teeth, or whatever those items might be that you know that you're not going to get back. 3, create a go bag. This is different than a transitional bag. A transitional bag is going to have some things in it that you're going to use for a little bit longer term. A go bag is a bag you are going to just grab and go when you are leaving your abuser. So this is an emergency bag that you keep hidden at home or in your car, something you can just grab and go if you need to run. What you need to include in that go bag is 1 change of clothes per person, your car keys, your ID, passports if necessary, social security cards, anything that you might need, your prescriptions, and anything else that's necessary, like an inhaler or EpiPen or something that's necessary for your health. You also want to have a phone charger, maybe a laptop or a tablet. You want to also take essential things that your children are going to need, like a favorite toy or a blanket or a pacifier, a bottle and some formula, diapers, some diaper wipes, things that you are going to need within the next 24 hours. You may want to have some of those things as well in the other bag that you have at your safe house, right? You're going to want to have some diapers and some baby food and some formula for your children to get you through for a couple of weeks. You want to also have a copy of a protective order if you have one, or any other court orders or parenting agreements, separation agreements, any other legal documents that are important that you're going to also have in that go bag. And then a few irreplaceable photos, so things that he may burn or destroy. You want to make sure that you have baby photos or anything that's important to you, right? Turn your cell phone off when you leave, especially if you have an Apple cell phone. If it's tracked, it could lead them straight to you. You also want to be mindful of Apple products. So any kind of Apple product he can use to trace you or track you. Even Apple headphones or any kind of Apple product can be used. So leave those at the house. Don't take those with you. Take your cell phone, turn your cell phone off, immediately go to the Apple or the Verizon or your local cell phone store and find out what you need to do to ensure that he cannot track you, including potentially just getting a replacement phone. And then make sure if you get a replacement phone that you are not adding that phone back onto the family plan, because he can track you via that family plan. It's very important. Also, firearm safety. If he has a lot of weapons or firearms in the house, and especially if he owns guns and things are escalating, it may be safer for you to disable or hide them if you can do so discreetly before you leave. You never want to confront him or escalate things when there are weapons or guns involved, so just act wisely and quietly. I would also keep an inventory of the weapons that he owns, so know how many he has and where they are stored. So if you file a protective order, you can inform law enforcement about where those weapons are to make sure that they are all confiscated and he doesn't have some hidden for his use later on. Electronic safety, also very important. Abusers often use technology to stalk or control you. So here are some digital safety steps. Use a burner phone. Go in advance and have a burner phone stored at your safe house, one that he doesn't have access to or know the phone number to. You also want to make sure that you set up a new email address, not connected to your current devices, and not one that he's going to be able to easily figure out what it's going to be. If you always use your first name and your last initial, don't set up a new email account using your first name and last initial. Pick something that's meaningful to you now. Let's pick a new name for yourself. Maybe it's Freedom 1 or Freedom 25 because it's 2025. So Freedom 2025 is going to be your new email address. It's not going to be anything that he's going to know is associated with you. And make sure that you reset all of your passwords on all of your devices, on all of your emails, and make sure it's not a password that he can guess. It's not a password you've used in the past. It's not a password that's personally identifiable to you or your children, like a birth date or a favorite word or something like that. After you leave, have every device checked for spyware, especially children's iPads or phones. And again, it is my personal preference and recommendation that you replace all electronic devices. And I know that can be expensive, but it is the safest practice just to replace all those devices rather than just replacing the passwords on those devices. Do not reuse any old passwords at all. You need to get brand new cloud accounts that have no association with any old cloud accounts that you have shared with him in the past. Have no association with any family cloud accounts, and just make sure when you're setting those up that they somehow cannot accidentally be linked to one another. If you need help, we can connect you to trusted forensic cybersecurity experts. There are people who do this for a living, who can scan your devices, who will know if there's any spyware, if there's any bugs, anything on your devices, who can help you set up protected devices and make sure that you're not being followed or stalked. You can take your car to an auto repair shop, ask them to scan your car for any kind of tracking devices. You can also call law enforcement and ask if they'll do an inspection of your automobile and make sure there are no tracking devices on your car. So I want you to be mindful about your children and what to do with your children in the event that you leave. In North Carolina, you can take your children with you as long as you stay in state. So crossing state lines without a court order can trigger an emergency custody filing, even if you're doing it for safety reasons. That's why legal advice is critical in building your plan. And in many other states, they also have emergency custody filings if you cross state lines and take your children. So it's not kidnapping if you don't have a court order in place. So if he says, I'm going to call the police and have you charged with kidnapping, that is him just scaring you using lie and manipulation tactics. However, if you take the children across state lines and you don't have a domestic violence protective order or a restraining order in place, he could potentially go to court and file an action for emergency custody and force you to return the children to your state of origin. So just be mindful of that. However, in abuse situations, it is very important to take your children with you. It's very hard to say that your children are in danger or they are not safe if you leave them in an abuse situation. If you are trying to leave and he won't allow you to take the children, say he locks you in the house, or he takes your keys, or he grabs the children and he just refuses to let you take them, you might want to consider calling 911 and seeking their assistance, ensuring that you're able to take your children with you when you leave to get additional assistance. I encourage you not to leave your children. Once you have these protective provisions in place and you get to safety, then you can more fully develop a more comprehensive safety plan with a domestic violence advocate, with a domestic violence agency, nonprofit help center, with an attorney. But the key is your safety, and the key is getting out of that abusive environment as quickly as you can. Your safety plan may feel like a just in case, but preparation can mean the difference between danger and safety, between chaos and calm. Whether you ever have to use it or not, you will never regret having one. You are not crazy, you are not weak, you are preparing for freedom, and freedom is worth preparing for. Another tip that you need to have with regard to your children is teaching your children how to call for help, right? Whether that is getting on Alexa and saying, hey, Alexa, call grandma, call grandpa, emergency services. And Amazon actually has a service that you can subscribe to and you're able to call for emergency services. It could be that you teach your children how to call 911 on a cell phone. Maybe it is you teach your children how to run across the street to the neighbor's house and ring the doorbell to get help. But you need to have a conversation with your children and teach your children how to seek help in the event that there is a true safety emergency, so that they can protect themselves and they can also protect you. I would also encourage you to have some kind of code word or safe word so that you can reach out to your safe person. So whether that's your family, another person at the church, a friend, a neighbor, whomever that might be, anytime you text that particular code word or that safe word, whether it's blueberry or koala bear or rainbow. Pick something short so that if you're in an emergency situation, you're not having to type a whole bunch of letters out. But when they see that text come through, they know you are in danger and they know you need help, and they can call 911 and come to the house immediately. So I'd encourage you to get a code word and have someone that you can text that code word to. That you need to have as part of your safety plan. Your safety plan may feel like a just in case, but preparation can mean the difference between danger and safety, between chaos and calm. Whether you ever use it or not, you'll never regret having one. You are not crazy, you are not weak, you are preparing for freedom, and freedom is worth preparing for. Your action step for this week is to start your personal safety plan. Write it down. Choose your safe house, pack your transitional and your go bags, get a burner phone, start setting aside some cash. Maybe apply for a credit card that he doesn't know about that you can use in an emergency. Create a list of who you can call if you need to and leave fast. Create that code word and reach out to that person, that emergency contact, and make sure they understand what that code word means. These are all things you can do to ensure your safety. You don't have to wait to feel brave. You just have to start. This is just the beginning. Over the next few weeks, we'll walk through everything you need to prepare for your personal Independence Day, from building your support system to preparing your finances and legal strategy. You won't walk this journey alone. If you feel like you need additional help, we offer legal coaching for Christian women who are in abusive situations. Join our waitlist now for our fall coaching group to get more intensive information on how to protect yourself and your children legally as you go through separation and divorce with an abusive spouse. I would encourage you to go to www.livefreelegal.com to learn more about our coaching groups and to join our waitlist. I'd also encourage you to join our private Empower Her membership. It is only $35 a year. It gives you access to our private support group where other women just like yourself are also members. You can share experiences, share information. You have access to a page with free legal resources, templates, checklists that will help you on your legal journey. We have a monthly Q&A where you can ask any legal question involving domestic abuse or domestic issues that we do on the third Thursday of each month at noon. And then we also have a devotional that we send out on a weekly basis to help empower and encourage you. Plus you have access to all of the resources on our website. So I'd encourage you to go to our website again at livefreelegal.com and consider joining our Empower Her private membership for only $35. Please join us next week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next video as we talk about creating your personal financial freedom plan. We have video every week, 7 o'clock. Please remember to like us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. By liking our page and subscribing to our YouTube channel, you help us get the message out to other women who are going through very similar circumstances. You're going to share that information to help free them from the oppression and the abuse that they are in. So we'd appreciate that. We also don't want you to miss out on the rest of the series that we have planned for you this July, this Independence Month, as we work towards helping you gain your independence from abuse. Thank you so much for joining us, and we can't wait to see you next time.